Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Saturday vehicle accident on Highway 2 near Preshastin sent an Arlington motorcyclist to the hospital. Douglas County is working with non-profit Tread to improve outdoor recreation. Sunny and mild through most of this week with another warm-up expected by the end of the week and especially this weekend. State troopers are asking for the public's help in finding a vehicle that struck and injured a woman early Friday on Highway 282 near the Ephrata Airport. The 30-year-old pedestrian was walking on the east shoulder of the highway just south of the airport when an unknown vehicle struck her from behind. Washington State Patrol Detective Ben Borgman says the male driver stopped briefly at the scene but then continued on eastbound toward Moses Lake. The collision left the victim with serious injuries and occurred sometime between 2 and 3 a.m. The vehicle is described only as a passenger car that may have right front end damage. Anyone with information is asked to contact the State Patrol. The rural Leavenworth man who became involved in a standoff with the police SWAT team 6 months ago says he'll appeal the 45-month prison sentence he was assigned late last week. A Chelan County jury convicted 48-year-old Abel Wilkes on Thursday of second-degree assault with a firearm for pointing a rifle at a neighbor who urged him to stop target shooting late at night and early in the morning. The neighbor's report of the incident led to an 18-hour standoff in which Wilkes refused to come out of his trailer home on Chumstick Highway. Judge Robert Jordan sentenced Wilkes on Friday. His prison term includes a 3-year mandatory enhancement for use of a firearm. Wilkes argued his constitutional rights were violated by police and the courts. His attorney filed a notice of appeal immediately after his sentencing. A Saturday vehicle accident on Highway 2 near Preshastin sent an Arlington motorcyclist to the hospital. The Washington State Patrol says 48-year-old John S. Morrison was riding just west of the Big Y shortly after noon when he slowed for traffic, but the driver of a Honda CR-V behind him did not. Morrison was taken to Confluence Health Hospital for treatment and his motorcycle was totaled. The driver of the CR-V, a 20-year-old Benjamin C. Patchen of East Wenatchee, was not injured. Troopers say Patchen was following the motorcycle too closely to stop in time. Governor Gov Inslee will be in Wenatchee on Thursday to attend the ribbon cutting of the Wenatchee Valley Reentry Center. The Washington State Department of Corrections said this center is the first opened in a few decades and first one ever in Wenatchee. The idea of a reentry center is to help incarcerated folks focus on their transition out of prison confinement. While there, they will learn and refine social and living skills like finding and retaining employment, education, treatment, and so on. Inslee was in Wenatchee earlier this year and toured the Center for Drug and Alcohol Treatment, who were seeking funding for a new building at the time of his visit. When we come back, Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett joined us in studio last week with an update on this year's wildfire season. And get your bike hiking boots ready because the Washington Trails Association has some ideas for you. I'm Grant Olson and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's the pickleball event of the year, Shake and Bake by the Lake at Wapito Point Resort in Manson, October 6th through 8th. Open to the public for all ages and skill levels. Register now until September 15th. Go to moretomanson.com and click on the events link to register, or go to pickleballbrackets.com. Book a stay and see all the amazing amenities Wapito Point Resort has to offer. Walk to Manson restaurants, wineries, and more. It's the Wapito Point Resort Shake and Bake by the Lake Pickleball Tournament, October 6th through 8th in Manson.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale. Now, only at Click It RV. 5 Superstore locations. Hurry in today.
Now that summer is wrapping up, so is wildfire season. The warm weather will continue to cool, and while that may be unfortunate news to some, those fighting the fires can rejoice. Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett was in studio last week and spoke a bit about the end of the season. When asked how this year went, Brett told NCWLIFE News that this summer's wildfires were on par with past years.
It's been average. We traditionally host 3 to 4 large conflagrations within our jurisdiction every year. We've hosted 4. We're often the season opener of wildland season right here in our jurisdiction, host a couple throughout the season, and we often have the season ending event here as well. Now it appears we have some good weather and season ending weather. Hopefully it sticks. Sorry to have summer over for everybody, but we do celebrate summer being over, and we've hit our norm. We did have the 4 large wildland fires, and the support we received from the community is incredible. We appreciate that so much, and we are out there just trying to do the very best we can and protect lives, protect infrastructure, protect property.
Douglas County is working with the nonprofit TREAD to improve outdoor recreation. Throughout September, 3 community outreach events will be held around the county to hear input from residents on current and future recreation opportunities. TREAD wants to hear how improvements can be made to outdoor recreation, including how to make it more accessible, and will also have maps for people to draw on to identify ideas for new infrastructure or trails. The first event will be held tomorrow, September 12th at the Waterville Library, and then next Wednesday on September 20th. A second event will be held at the Eastmont Parks Community Center. The third opportunity to attend will be on Tuesday, September 26th at the Bridgeport Elementary School, and all events will begin at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7. Get your hiking boots ready because the Washington Trails Association has some ideas for you. Tomorrow evening, North Central Washington Libraries is hosting a live virtual event for people of all skill levels who want to start hiking or are looking for new trails in Central Washington. Representatives from the Washington Trails Association will be given recommendations for hiking trails in Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, and Ferry counties. The hour-long program will begin at 6 p.m. and be hosted on Zoom. If you're interested, you can register on the NCW Library's website. Coming up next, the expanded We Are Still Here exhibit at the Greater Leavenworth Museum was celebrated with a grand opening yesterday. We'll have more in tonight's feature story. Sunny and mild this week with much warmer temperatures by this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
As the sun sets on another hot summer, let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa winterize and close your pool. Closing your swimming pool is the most important service to get right. Letting the professionals from Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa close your pool will ensure that you won't cost yourself thousands of dollars in damage next year. Want to save a little money? Consider dropping the water level yourself and save. Don't wait. Blue Lagoon's pool closing schedule is filling up quickly. Call today. Hibis Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Hi, this is Eric Grandstrom, the NCWLIFE Channel Sports Director. While the teams are working hard, we're working hard to bring you 20 broadcasts this fall.
Over the middle, the ball is caught, and just like that, gets through everybody. And
it's Eastmont
to the end zone. Touchdown, Eastmont.
It's Wenatchee.
10-5, touchdown.
Even Cashmere.
Killed by Nell. It's in. Good maneuver. Red footer. Go, 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 go.
Right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
In tonight's feature story, the expanded We Are Still Here exhibit at the Greater Leavenworth Museum was celebrated with a grand opening yesterday. Free museum access was granted to anyone who wanted to learn more about the history of the Wenatchee tribe, with new displays that teach museum guests how to pronounce words in their native dialect and digital mapping of ancestral lands. Outside of the museum, 7 speakers who range from exhibit curators and advisors to artists and educators, they all gathered at the Front Street gazebo to share about the importance of that exhibit.
The new exhibit is the voice of the Shimpasquosa, detailing in their own words their history and the connection to this valley. We sincerely hope we can look back at this day and mark it as the beginning of the Upper Wenatchee Valley's warm welcome home to the Shimpasquosa, to their ancestral hunting and fishing lands.
I think a lot of the ancestors would be really happy to see these younger ones picking up these pieces and moving forward. I think a lot of times in museums it's a capsule into history, but it's a different story now that the Indigenous people are coming to the forefront and being able to share their stories through an Indigenous lens and come together. And the only way to come together as a whole is through education and awareness. And it's different events like these, it's what's going to bring us all together to move forward, to create beautiful things for our future. Not only for you guys, but for us and our own families as well. And also making our presence back into these traditional territories.
My granddad, who was very firmly, driven by maintaining that practice of fishing here. And he used to say, if you don't do it, they'll think that we're no longer. If you don't do it, they'll think that you have no right, and we have every right. We have an unextinguished Aboriginal right to this territory. These are our fishing grounds. These are our hunting grounds. These are our berry picking, root digging grounds. And they meant everything to our people. As everyone here has expressed, we're still here. My mother, Mary Miller Marchand, she used to say, we're not a people of a romantic past, nor are we a people of an irrelevant present. We're still here.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. It was beautiful weather-wise, temperatures hovering in those lower 80s. We got pretty warm yesterday, though. It topped off at about 89 degrees, which is well above where we should be for this time of year. But boy, since summer's winding down, no complaints when we get those warmer days, because the cooler days are on their way. Gusty winds also on the way for us as we get into Tuesday. I don't think Wenatchee proper will see so much of those winds, but I think places like Vantage, of course, the Waterville Plateau, a windy spot down the Purcell Trench, those areas will see some wind tomorrow. In fact, gusts of 10 to 20 miles an hour early in the day, and that'll increase to 20 to 35 mile an hour by later in the day tomorrow. So be aware of that. All right, our 6 to 10 day outlook. Look at this, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and we are above normal. All of the Pacific Northwest will see above normal temperatures, and we are talking September 16th right through the 20th. Precipitation below. We are just slightly below normal as far as precipitation here in Washington. So expect as we get into the end of September, it is going to be above normal, and we're going to stay drier than normal. No surprise there. 82, our unofficial high today. It was another nice one, although we did see a lot of clouds out there. Still not a bad day. 79 is normal, and 94 is your record high set in 1973. 66 this morning. A nice mild start to our day, well above where we should be for this time of year at 54, and well above our record low, which was 44, set back in 1983. Sunrise 6:33 this morning, and it sets tonight at 7:21. All right, let's get you into those Tuesday temperatures. We talked about probably some breezy conditions around the Waterville Plateau, maybe even down into the Columbia Basin, but it's going to stay above normal as far as temperatures. 83 Moses Lake, Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Lots of 83s on the map from Wenatchee into Chelan. It looks like Omak, the warmer spot at 85 degrees. And as normal, the cool spot tomorrow, still not bad at Lake Wenatchee, high temperature of 78. All right, taking a look at tonight, mostly cloudy skies. There is just a trough of low pressure sliding by, but notice this area of low pressure. That's kind of pushing those waves of clouds our way, and that kept us cloudy today. Lows tonight around 60 degrees. For Tuesday, there's that area of low pressure. It's still going to throw some clouds our way tomorrow, so we'll call it partly cloudy and breezy in parts of north central Washington. Tomorrow's high temperatures again into those lower 80s. Getting into midweek Wednesday, sunny and warm. This is where we slowly begin to warm up again. Look at the area of high pressure. It is just gigantic up and over the Pacific Northwest. Lower 80s again, as I mentioned, for your afternoon highs on Wednesday. For Thursday, this is where we really begin to warm up. Sunny skies. Look at the clear skies all up and down the west coast of the U.S. High pressure in control. We are talking mid-80s for high temperatures on Thursday. To end our work week on Friday, of course, the big Bridge of Sportsmanship game on Friday. It is going to be warm, folks. Sunny and warmer. We're talking highs in the upper 80s on Friday, and that is going to continue right into the upcoming weekend. In fact, maybe even a little bit warmer. We could touch 90 degrees on Saturday, which will be close to a record high temperature to kick off our weekend. By Sunday, sunny, still hot. We'll call it hot now this time of year with high temperatures in those upper 80s, and once again, nothing but clear skies in the western United States. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now. Another mild one overnight, 61, 83 with partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Slightly cooler on Wednesday. It should be a beauty. Sunny and 82. And here's that warm up. Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. 85 Thursday, Friday, 88 with sunshine. And we're going to stay with sunny skies right into this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, 90 for Saturday and 89 on Sunday. And that's a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Hi everybody, Dan Coos alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run cameras so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I gotta go figure out this camera. The Mariners limped home from a 3-7 road trip last night after dropping the final game of its series in Tampa 6-3. Seattle fell behind 5-0 early to the Rays before getting off the schneid in the third. Bryce Miller took the loss, but manager Scott Servais says it was a great learning day for the young pitcher.
Big growth moment for him. I thought, early in the game, certainly in the first inning, they were on him, even a couple quick runs in the third, and then he did exactly what he needed to do. He flipped the script. He shut him down. I think he got the last 9 hitters out and gave us a chance. And also, when you're starting pitcher, you're pitching, once every 5-6 days. You got to go out there and give your team, give the length and get through the 5th inning, which is a really good job by him. So, again, rough trip. Hope to, anytime you go on the road, you're hoping to, split, go 500 or better. Didn't happen. We go back home. I think you got 2 big homestands ahead of us, so it'll be good to get home. It's been a long trip, long flight tonight, but we'll get after it tomorrow against the Angels. I like where we're at. Okay, we got 19 games to go. We're in a good spot. We're a little tired. It's the end of a trip. It happens, and we just played one of the best teams in the American League. 4 very competitive games. They outplayed us. I'm hoping we come back here again before the season's over.
Julio and Sam Haggerty each had 2 hits for Seattle in the loss. They return home to host the Angels in the first of 3 games at T-Mobile Park. That game at 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Mariners left Seattle on the 10-day road trip in first place in the American League West. They return home in second, 2.5 games behind the Astros. Houston continued its offensive onslaught as they peppered San Diego 12-2 the final. Texas took care of Oakland 9-4. Angels come into Seattle after down in Cleveland yesterday 2-1. Mariners have fallen to the final wild card playoff spot and are just a half game in front of the Rangers. Toronto beat Kansas City 5-2 to jump a game in front of Seattle for the second playoff spot. Yankees edged Milwaukee in 13 innings to remain 8 games back. Well, Los Angeles outscored Seattle 23-0 in the second half and beat the Seahawks 30-13 at Lumen Field yesterday. Seattle managed just 3 yards of total offense in the second half as Geno Smith finished with 112 yards passing and a touchdown to DK Metcalf. For the game, the Rams outgained Seattle 426-180. Seattle heads for Detroit Sunday to face the Lions at 10 a.m. on Fox. It was a great weekend to be a Husky or a Cougar. Michael Penix Jr. threw for 409 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 8 Washington knocked off Tulsa 43-10. Coach Kalen DeBoer says they're pleased to be 2-0.
Michael played a great game, getting things set and understanding what he's seeing, delivering the football. Super proud of the way he played. Protected him well, gave him a lot of time to see down the field. I thought the defense came out of each half and really did a nice job challenging them in the third quarter in particular, and wanted them to see them come out of the locker room, and they did a nice job there. So the energy was good, and got a lot of guys out there to play, rotated a lot of guys in. Every rep, every opportunity is one where we can get better individually and as a team.
Cameron Ward passed for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns and ran for another 43 yards in Washington State's 31-22 upset win over 19th-ranked Wisconsin. The Badgers fought back to within 2 in the second half before the Cougars responded. Coach Jake Dickert says, well, it was a gutty win.
That was the prettiest, ugliest win ever, and I'm really proud of our guys because there was a point where it wasn't looking good, right? And they had us on our heels and they kept attacking and the defense was out there. We couldn't move the ball. There was no quit. There was no doubt. There was no fear. It was just keep attacking, and I'm just so proud of our team. This is a player's game, guys. Our players went out there and made plays when they had to. So proud of Cam Ward. Defensive staff, to get a touchdown and to really hold them when they're on the heels and clutch moments in the red zone was huge.
Eastern Washington was stopped on its second possession of overtime, and Fresno State kicked a 25-yard field goal to win it 34-31. Blake Thielen threw for a touchdown, make that 5 touchdown passes to lead Montana Tech over Central Washington 37-29. Wenatchee and Eastmont were both victorious in high school prep football over the weekend. The Panthers beat Mount Baker Friday night at Lee Boftel Field of the Apple Bowl, 29-14 to the final. They're now 1-1 on the season. Also on Friday, it was Davis over Ellensburg. Cedar Woolley beat Eisenhower. Sunnyside topped Post Falls, Idaho. On Saturday, West Valley beat Federal Way. Eastmont won on the road at Timberline, 21-14. Gunnar Peterson set the all-time Eastmont rushing mark with 169 yards on 25 carries. He scored on the ground. Luke Gale tossed a couple of touchdown passes through the air. The Panthers will host the Wildcats in the 56th meeting between the two schools in the Bridge of Sportsmanship. That'll be Friday in the Apple Bowl. We'll have that live on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant and I with your play-by-play, the pregame at 6:30. Sophomore Rylan Hatmaker threw 3 touchdown passes in Cashmere's 35-15 win over Deer Park. LaSalle edged Omak 28-21. Chelan scored the game-winning touchdown with 3 minutes left left to knock off Meridian 21-20. Ephrata won on the Battle of the Basin over Quincy 35-12. Tonasket topped Cascade 28-14. Waterville-Mansfield improved to 2-0 with a 53-14 win over Selkirk. Okanagan stopped Selah 49-7. Lake Roosevelt rolled Highland 56-24. Liberty Bell edged Brewster in a stem winner 46-41 the final. Elmira Cooley Heartline took care of Entiat 50-21. Bridgeport shut out Oakville on Saturday 52-0. Eastmont and Wenatchee earned their first girls soccer wins of the season Saturday. The Wildcats won at Central Valley 4-1. The Panthers defended their home field over Ingram 4-1. Other scores, Meade shut out Moses Lake 4-0. Quincy blasted Mabton 10-0. Ephrata throttled Royal 9-1. Omak blanked Lake Roosevelt 6-0. Bear Creek down Chelan 5-3. Cashmere and LaSalle were canceled. We'll broadcast Wenatchee and Eastmont girls soccer coming up at the Apple Bowl on Wednesday night. It'll be Sebastian Moronga and Matt Wiesen with a call, 7 o'clock right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, congratulations to the Wenatchee Panther volleyball team. They went undefeated in pool play and won the Yakima Sundome Festival by downing Linden Christian 25-14. Eastmont went 3-3 at the tournament in pool play. Manson also won the small school championship, downing Napavine in the final match 25-19-13. Brewster went 3-3 in pool play. Sports Broadcast Week begins tomorrow night at Wenatchee High School when the Panthers and Wildcats meet in volleyball at 7. I'll be courtside with your play-by-play on that one. Wenatchee Wild went 1-1 over the weekend in WHL exhibition play after falling at home to Tri-City Americans on Saturday. Wenatchee went on to Everett and topped the Silvertips 4-3 in overtime yesterday. Zach Benson, how about it? A hat trick, including the game winner in the extra session. Wenatchee is in Kennewick Friday to take on Spokane at 3:05. Well, race fans at the Super Oval were treated to some fireworks after the racing Saturday night, and there were some fireworks on the track as well. Chad Holliday won the Rockstar Energy B-Mods main event over Glenn Knutson and Trucker Moore. It was Sumner Steve Woods taking the checkered flag in the Northwest Vintage Modifieds main event. Rick Villiard was second, followed by Vince Conwell, and the Plum Perfect Roadrunner main event win went to Cle Elum's Tammy Aper. Jason Walker was second, followed by Matt Snyder. In the Marysville's Preston Brandt won the main event for the Zero Handicap Youth Roadrunners. Wenatchee's Tommy Craig was second and Tyler Steinberg third. WVSO will celebrate the season finale this weekend with 2 days of racing. Friday features the Jerry Bershauer 125 for pro late models. Saturday features the Neil Newberry 125 for the super late models. Go to WVSO.com for info. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Monday.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have that all-important weather forecast. Boys, Grant already told you, we're not done with summer yet. We're going to be unseasonably warm. Anything that may have changed from Mother Nature's perspective, we'll have for you. We'll have the latest headlines. We'll have the latest sports. We'll have everything you need to get your Tuesday going. I'm back. I'm in the pink, feeling pretty good. And if you want to start your day feeling pretty good, there are lots of options. And then there's this show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live and local at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run camera so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I gotta go figure out this camera.